Hi everyone, it's Tammy with the Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back to my channel. We are going to do today's prompt for December Ember. And for those of you that are not familiar, this is a daily prompt challenge for the month of December that is being hosted by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel with Junk Journal Art, where every day for the month of December, well, I say every day, but it's Monday through Thursday for the month of December, you are to use the prompts to create ephemera for your journal, regardless of what kind of journal that is, whether it's a Christmas journal or your own personal journal or a journal you have exchanged with someone, or you're just making ephemera for a future project. Today's prompts are an old photograph and a fold-out page or flip-out page. And so I'm going to be working in my journal, which you can see is getting very bulky already. I had already started this journal, and so everything that is in here is not from the prompt challenge. I did go through this morning and remove some of the ephemera pieces so that I could create myself a little more room, but I still don't know that I'm going to have enough room for the whole month, but we will see how it goes. I have really kind of created this journal for myself to put ideas in so that I could remember, I could flip back through and see how I made certain things or did certain things. And so, the things that I took out really were not items from the prompt, and there were things that could be removed and put somewhere else, and so forth and so on. So, now I may go back at the end and put some of those back in if they'll fit, but you can see it's already a pretty chunky journal, which I like, but, yeah, I just don't know that I'm going to be able to make it through without having to take some stuff out. So, for today, sorry, I have a tickle. It's been rainy here, and I have a really hard time with, mold when it rains, and, so it makes my throat tickle. So, if I cough a little bit or sound like I'm getting choked up, that's the deal. But I do have a drink here beside me, so hopefully we'll get through this okay. So again, old photograph and a page flip out. Well, when I was trying to decide what to use, and a lot of this journal, even though they're creative makes, they're things that are personal to me, in some way. A lot of the things are. So, and then some things that are just things that I like and, wanted to keep in a personal journal. So, let me find the page. I think it's toward the back, right here. All right, so I am going to use this partial page, and this is my old photo. This is actually a copy of an old photo of the Budweiser Clydesdales, and you can see it's kind of a long panoramic, I guess you would say, or a long picture of the Clydesdales and the hitch and all that kind of stuff. And for those of you that don't know, I am retired now, but I worked 20 years for a Anheuser-Busch distributor here in town. And so this is actually a replica of an old photo that was in a Anheuser-Busch calendar celebrating 30 years of the Clydesdales. So, I saved this, and it has been in my stash, and so I thought this was perfect for my little flip out, and so I'm going to attach it to the page so you pull it out like this, but you can also flip it open here, and I'm not going to put anything here, and the reason I covered this is this was the front cover of the calendar, and so it was upside down, because when you hung the calendar, you know, the picture was at top and the calendar part was at bottom, and this was the front, this side was the front of the calendar, and so it flipped up, and so all this was upside down. So I just covered it with a piece of newsprint for now, and I'm sure somewhere in this challenge I will find something to put in that flip. So basically, this is going to be a really easy make. This is quite thick because it is on, you know, quite thick cardstock because it was a calendar. So again, I'm adding bulk. Go figure. But I am going to glue the back part down to the page. So I'm going to do that first, and you can see this page is not a whole page. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue on this page so that I know what my boundaries are. So I hope everyone is having a great day. Like I said, this is not going to be a long video, I don't feel like. Of course, I say that, and then I start fiddling and talking, and it ends up being a lot longer than I mean it to be, but we'll see how it goes. So, this is going to glue on here, and I don't want to get it like in that crease. Don't glue yet because I'm not on the edge. There we go. Okay, I think that's going to be good. So then we have that. Still not straight. Luckily, this is shiny paper that's on the back of here. The art glitter glue does not adhere quite as quick as it does regular paper to regular paper, so you have just a little bit more time to kind of manipulate it than if it was just regular paper and it stuck like automatically. And you can see where it's wet. When that dries, it shouldn't show as bad, and even if it does, that'll probably end up getting covered up at some point anyway. Alright, so now I want to create a little tab here that gives you the indication to flip this out. And so what I did is, one, I have this little label that I'm going to ink up and put on here. Put my pen and my glue. And the label doesn't really have anything to do with anything. I just felt like I needed something more than just my little tab. So, and it's just a little digital label. Let's put some glue on that. Ooh, knocking things off already. And then I made myself a little tab out of a pull tab and some red ribbon and just a little piece of lace and a little piece of bookbinding. And the reason I'm using the red ribbon is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Clydesdales live, but they have these beautiful red ribbons that come down the side here. And then they have their hair tied up with like little knots with red ribbon around them. They're beautiful. If you ever get the opportunity, if they come to your town or whatever, you should definitely plan to go and see them. They are a sight to see. We, when I was working, hosted them several times for several different activities like Christmas parades or veterans parades and things like that. So, and then back in 2012, we had a company picnic and to celebrate the purchase of a building, and they came to that, and we got to see them. A lot of times when they come for public appearances, you don't get to see them up close and personal. But this was like an employee appreciation thing that was just for us. And so, you know, we could see them up close and have pictures made with them and stuff like that. And we had a few people that actually rode on the hitch with the gentleman in the Dalmatian, which was really cool. So, yeah, if they come to your town, you definitely need to go and see them. And they are treated like kings and queens. They have a big long list of rules that you have to follow wherever they're boarded. They eat a certain kind of food. They have to have so much room. The stables have to be controlled, heat and cool controlled. They're only allowed to parade or march around for so much time during the day. So, yeah, if you've ever worried about how they're taken care of, you don't need to worry about that, because they are very well taken care of. Okay, so basically that's it for the flip out. Oh, and I didn't mention, but I did go ahead and grunge this page up prior to turning the camera on, because you've seen me do that a million times, but I just kind of stained it up with the Tim Holtz stencil. This one right here, you can see I use it quite a bit. It splatters THS009, and I just kind of put it random places, and then took my brush and vintage photo and made splatters. And I also, you know, exaggerated the folds and put other folds in here and crinkles, and went around the edge and roughened it up so that it would look like an older photo than it was. Alright, now, because we put this little piece of red over here, I am going to create a tuck with this card right here. It says that it's always the small pieces that make the big picture. And I think that fits that. That's a pretty big picture. And I am going to put some of these other pieces behind it. And actually, I may not do it as a tuck. I may just staple them all on there to bring in some of the red. And you know how I like my layers. And I think I'm just going to staple those, because, again, I'm not really worried, for my sake, if it's a tuck or not. But you could very easily make it a tuck. So I'm just going to get my tiny attacher. And I'm going to put a couple staples down the side. And then I'm going to take this airmail envelope and I'm going to wrap it over the next page back for another little green. I was thinking green because the gentlemen that ride on the hitch wear green. And I was in my mind thinking, okay, do I need to bring in some green? But I don't think I will. And I'm just going to use a tiny paper clip and put on this envelope so it stays on the page. And there we go. There's our make. And like I said, you know, at some point during this challenge, I'm sure I'm going to be able to put something here. And then there as well. And that's where, and you can see it's already drying, and it's not going to show through once it's dry. And I don't mind that this black showing. It looks kind of cool, actually. So there we go. There's our flip out and our old photo. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys back, depending on which order that you watch the videos. There'll also be a video out there working on the design team project for Sweet Pea Curiosities. And so if you've already seen that, then I'll see you guys on Thursday for I Saw It on Pinterest. And if you haven't watched that yet, please jump over and watch that one as well. And either way, I will see you guys back on Thursday. So until then, everybody have a great couple of days. Bye.